Hello everyone, Agion here, another Company Heroes 2 replay. Well, on the bottom side, as the austere, we have SzaryWilk actually immediately locking into the assault support doctrine, which he will gain access to the cargo trucks. On the north side, as the USF player, we have 4 res. His doctrines he can get is the infantry company, heavy cav, and the armor company. Well, 2 of them are quite common. Armor company is good, attempt at a comeback mechanic. The only thing unusual is probably infantry company. Usually we see technical support, but I actually prefer infantry company over tactical support. While the artillery are both good, actually, the priest is actually pretty good. You can also get the M21 mortar half track, which is it's a very good unit. Can easily help push opponents out of the area. Has very good mortar, doesn't have to worry about being counter barrage since it's a vehicle, sort of like the mortar half track, but has access to white phosphorus instead of smoke rounds, if I remember correctly. Or was it the pack howitzer? I sort of forget. Either way, do got the early aggression. This rifleman will push forward, getting this house a very strong position. Grenadiers engaging at max range behind heavy cover, so they actually looks like they are actually winning out. Perhaps a bit of bad RNG by the US player. We got rear echelon capturing all the way over here. We got another rifleman squad capturing up over here. My preferred starting build order for USF is, in fact, another rear echelon opener, so you have 2 in the beginning. It really helps with early capping pressure, and it allows me just to have eventually equip them with bazookas, give them pretty decent mobile AT. And actually, I'm not a fan of spamming out riflemen. I try to mix in more and more weapon teams, such as the pack howitzer or the Browning. Pack howitzer can be quite good on this map. There's a lot of pretty good shot blocker with these hedges in the center. Browning is also pretty good. Not so much versus austere, since they do pretty much always have access to the mortar, but is a very good machine gun team. So we do got a rush forward. Looks like the Pioneers are being focused force. I actually do believe the Grenadiers actually have higher damage at close range, even though the Pioneers are equipped with SMGs. We got Riflemen. Looks like they hop forward from this house all the way over here. They did decap the munitions point, but does affect somewhat, but not a whole too much. It's not like a cutoff point. Grenadiers will be heading to the cutoff point. Cutoff point is a very good spot. He's going to take a lot of losses by doing this. He's in very close range, receiving fire from 2 squads. Yeah, better just retreat. We got the rear echelon running forward. They do not stop the capture, but that can be easily rectified because there's a lot of units of force with these Grenadiers. Now got the assault, the artillery field officer on the field. Of course, does have the inspiration bonus. Does decently fight, though not as great as a Grenadier squad. Giving that bonus nearby Grens can be quite potent. I think it's like a 15 or 25% accuracy bonus to a very large radius. Also affects vehicles and their reload time. Looks like this rifleman squad will lose out versus these Grens, but these 4 Grens should be able to win out versus the 2 Grenadiers. Do we have Battle Phase 1 yet? We do not have Battle Phase 1. Maybe he does have a significant supply of manpower, so I would assume he will get it relatively soon. He could go for MG or mortar or sniper. And this squad will get ripped apart, trying to get into close range, and running towards riflemen, not exactly ideal. So this cutoff point was decaptured, which of course denies all this income over here, which can be quite potent, though I don't see the mini-map actually blinking. Oh well.
Krauts have cut our supply line. Frontline units are being hung out to dry.
Actually, it might have been, the supply might have been attached by this command territory. That's why that cutoff point did not actually cut off anything. This command territory actually reaches all the way down right here into the supply sector and reached around that cutoff point. Enough resources were actually denied. We do got the M15AA half-track coming on now. I do like this unit. It is a very potent suppression platform. It can fight against 222s if he's worried about that. And also shoot down aircraft in case if his opponent did go for a Ju-87 strafe, which is not very balanced. Which it can rip apart those aircraft quite quickly. Do have... Oh, there we go. There's that building. I was wondering why he hasn't built it already, but we'll see he's going to build it now. Grenadiers once again rushing towards riflemen. Not ideal. Looks like we may see a rifle grenade. No. Just on open ground right there. His lieutenant will push back away this squad easily. And if he would have stayed close range to this squad, he would have ripped it apart. The Thompson and the bar. And a lot of field pressure by the US player, which is quite understandable. The riflemen tend to be a bit more potent, but overall the Grenadiers just started running towards the riflemen, just trying to deny the cutoff point. My little critique about that, don't worry about rushing to stop the cutoff point when the engagement is much more important actually, because then you can gain permanent control of that point. A half-track is now rolling on forward. We are going to see a 222 try for a response for it. Could see a Pack 40. That would be another good response. Grenadiers are rushing forward. May want to see a rifle grenade or two trying to get in this point. Do see a rifle grenade. He's currently microing along the left side, but we'll do a nice little dodge. Once again, Grenadiers getting point blank. Not really a good idea. We got the A half-track. This Grenadier squad may in fact get wiped. Down to one member. Just gets out of range. We do got the 222. The 222 needs to make sure he gets around it. The AA half-track can actually win. It's more like who can actually get the proper hits. But the AA half-track will tend to win in a full engagement. But if you use the 222 circle around to its blind spot, then it can actually be easily killed. Blind spot. It's area that can't shoot anyways. Grenadiers once again running around. They aren't really firing when they're doing that side strafe. So it would have been just best to stay behind this light cover. We got the 222 trying to, once repaired, try to poke forward and move back. The AA half-track has sustained a huge amount of damage. You need one to pull. Yeah, he is going to pull that back. AA half-track is now at Veterancy 1. At Veterancy 1, I'm actually not sure what it gets. Improved acceleration. That can really be handy. Decides not to pull all the way back and use your crew members to repair. He just decides to use the Echelon, which is probably a good option. Grenadiers, if they aren't in a suppressed state, they could go in for Panzerfaust. They're very low in health. They could... Nope. They're in a suppressed state, so they can't get a rifle grenade on the rear echelons. He may in fact lose that squad. That's a very important squad. That is his only Vet 2 squad. It will manage to get out of there. A half-track is still not fully repaired, but should have enough health to deal with the 222. Just barely in range now. I think there's a little bit of shot blocker from here, or sight blocker. We got Pack 40, a heavy counter to the AA half-track. So granted, with the Vet 1 and now Vet 2, he can actually accelerate a bit easier outside the Pack Art if he sustains a shot. Currently at Vet 2, he will gain the improved squad survivability to navigate. I'm guessing it's better rotation speed, perhaps acceleration once again. I don't see squad's ability. I'm not sure why I said was saying survivability. So I'm guessing that's a rotation rate and something of that sort. We got the 222 being repaired on the front line using rear Pioneers to capture the point at the same time, but was unable to. Pack 40 rolls a miss when he really does not want them to miss. Looks like there was a Panzerfaust bug. I heard a no Panzerfaust was launched. Either A, the model got killed, or B, it just bugged out. Is the AA half-track trying to go for force fire across the ground? It's a very potent position. He spots the Pack 40. Pack 40 will take 2 shots to take it out. It's currently moving, so you won't get the kill on it unless the 222 dives after it. But it's not exactly fully prepared. And there's plenty of AT rifle grenades from every single rifleman. Still a substantial amount of field control by the USF player.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points. Point secure! Point secure!
You got a half-track coming up forward. It will have the flamer upgrade. Holy crap! 500 munitions, and he only has 5 command points. Not even 5 command points, actually. We'll get a nice hit onto the AA half-track. It can only withstand 1 more shot. If guns reloading, does not get it. Rushes in forward with all the riflemen. We'll probably see a couple AT rifle grenades. Should be able to withstand 2, but the base MGs will provide some nice suppression. And now do got the flamer half-track, a way overextension. The AA half-track is still up. The 222 still has full health. And we do got a significant amount of damage onto the flamer half-track. We'll lose that to the Pack 40.
Light vehicle just got destroyed.
A little bit of overextension. That's what happened to the US player. And now losing that AA half-track and the Browning. Browning's huge. The AA half-track is huge.
We're losing a capture point. Fire!
I think he's... Did he use the AP rounds on the Browning? Wasn't really paying attention to it.
Weapon rack is now accessible.
Granted, the flamer half-track does too much damage versus the building garrisoned units. It pretty much instantly wipes them. We'll grab the Browning with his Pioneers. Now you have a very potent machine gun, more potent than the MG42. We got a major tech now coming on out. We could see, we're very close to the fuel to a Sherman. If he perhaps not reinforced 1 or 2 squads, he would have had enough manpower to get a Sherman tank out, and that would be actually decisive, perhaps a decisive win factor. Trying to see which doctrine would I choose. I would have chose the infantry company. He has so much munitions. Why does he not have bars? He does have bars available. He needs to equip them. I would honestly go for infantry company to get the LMGs plus a bar, which you already have the upgrade. Have time on target. You can call that on with you about a couple times before the end of the game. So I would say infantry company would probably be his best doctrine to choose. Now we're going to see a lot of bars coming on out, but there is 2 MGs you have to deal with.
We're losing a capture point.
I would like to see perhaps a cargo truck and the artillery officer by SzaryWilk. The cargo truck, there we go. Speak of the devil, he shall come. Not much of the devil. The supply truck does basically give you both munitions and fuel cache, and perhaps a much safer location. Example, you could just put it right there. Back in the corner is probably not actually ideal because it'd be a hard retreat path. But the do got the flamer, got installed over here. Got the flamer half track being supported by the AT, the Browning and Grenadiers. No grenades. Mostly he spent all of his munitions on the bars. As I was saying before, the cargo truck gives... How much does this give exactly? I think basic gives you the equivalence of both a munitions and fuel point if you place on a regular sector. Much greater if you place on a specialized sector such as strategic sector anyways. Not specialized is the proper term. And we still got the 222 and Flame Half Track still alive. We do got bazookas on the squad, so we do have mobile AT. Ooh, drop the bazooka. The Pioneer's going to run up, grab the bazooka. Free bazooka on a relatively pretty worthless combat squad, so it can actually fight against enemy vehicles. M10? Well, you have major tech. You could go for a Sherman. Sherman is a hard counter your opponent's composition. You see a pack. You see both two light vehicles. So you know he spent a lot of fuel. You know you have so much fuel control for such a huge amount of time. You know your opponent's going to be so far behind on any fuel cost. In fact, he's just now researching Battle Phase 2. And he has just barely enough fuel to build a tech structure. He's another 4 or 5 minutes away from getting a Panzer IV, Stug, or Oswin. Probably actually 5 to 6 minutes for a Panzer IV. A Sherman take would have been the best possible answer, if not the Scott. Because they're anti-infantry. Granted, I would not mind seeing a Jackson either, because a heavy AT option, because he doesn't have any AT at the moment. Jackson would have been good. Sherman, Scott, all the major tech items are so good at the moment, but you go for a Wolverine. Sorry if I'm complaining too much, but this is just... You have actually plenty... Oh, we lost actually a rifleman squad entirely. But he already has so much anti-infantry. He already has quite a bit of anti-infantry assets, so that's why the Jackson makes sense. It's much better, more potent than the Wolverine, while the Wolverine does have more health. I just really believe the Jackson would be so much a better option for late game scaling. And I really want to say the Sherman because it has the HE rounds. He knows which will deal anything his opponent deal with, whether it be vehicle or infantry. That will just completely wipe out all the squads. We could see a Panzerfaust, but yes, we are going to see a Panzerfaust. And going for the M10 crushes, he could just... Sherman tank. I really don't like the M10 crushes. Okay, since he went for this horrible idea of going for the M10s and try to crush with them, I really hope SzaryWilk wins the game. He has sustained a huge lead. He has two. Well, he did lose that 2-2, but he still has the Flame Half Track. He still has a Pack 40, which has Vet 1, so he can target weak points. Though, granted, he doesn't have enough munitions for it. He does have the Cargo Truck, which I really like to see underused units and unique units such as that. Looks like the major squad was completely eliminated, so there goes his free fallback point. And cheap artillery, Collins. Really, the major artillery, not great, but for 50 munitions, that's great. For how cost effective it can be. Especially when you get it upgraded if you have additional veterancy. Looks like we're going to see it perhaps... Ooh, do got a Teller mine. Very nice. And this Wolverine can't do shit versus the Pack 40. Sorry for my language, but it's just such a big throw. He's trying to go in for the Flame Half Track, but he's going to lose such a more valuable asset. He's got a facing bazooka and a Panzerfaust. Yes, we do see the Panzerfaust. Does crush two of the models. Main gun destroyed. Maybe Pack 40 is not set up properly. He's going to just go for the Panzerfaust. Kill it now. He threw that game. Well, This is Agion. Hopefully this is a little bit of a lesson to everybody. At least what I believe would be a good lesson. This is Agion saying thank you for watching and signing off.